If you missed Big John and Amy this week, here's what we've been talking about. In the wake of the 9th anniversary of the September 11th attacks, John and Amy talked about what our appropriate emotional response to seeing images of the attacks should be.
Amy told me when she came into the office today that she could not stop crying on 9/11 Saturday because of the images and because you had a block party and firemen came to the block party.
I'm sure somebody out there agrees with me. It was a sad weekend, and I did cry. And then we went out and we had our block party and met some firefighters and started crying all over again.
How are we going to win if we're crying? I don't get moved by those images whatsoever, except to remind myself that we're at war with people, fanatics that want to kill us, and they're going to want to kill us for the foreseeable future.
It is as painful on the anniversary and watching that as it was when it happened.
Wow, I can't believe that either.
The pain was still as real and raw as that same day.
I wonder if there is either a gender difference. Obviously, there's a gender difference between us. What do you feel should be the appropriate emotional response to seeing these images again, right?
A new campaign ad has been released by Nancy Pelosi's Republican opponent in California, in which she's portrayed as the Wicked Witch of the West. And some are calling this ad sexist.
That's Nancy Pelosi as a witch, and he does pour water on the Wicked Witch. So
what?
Well, just as a woman, witch really means that you want to say...
bitch.
Exactly. I mean, come on. Don't you agree?
No, I don't. I think that it's an iconic film, and I think that you can use that film in a political arena, and she would become the Wicked Witch of the West. If he, in fact, is going to play the wizard, then she can play the Wicked Witch of the West.
He's not really playing the wizard. But I will tell you this much. No man against another male candidate would call that male candidate a witch. It's because she's a woman that they use the W word, which really mean to use the B word.
New research shows that women now earn 83 cents for every dollar earned by men. John and Amy talked about whether this statistic shows progress for women or is simply misleading.
The long debated wage gap between men and women is the smallest it has ever been.
There's reasons, if I may be so bold to say.
All right.
I know this is really rattling your cage this morning, but they would take these statistics and they would misread them previously. In the world I live in, I don't necessarily see women being discriminated against as far as their pay.
Because you're a man.
And the Republican nominee for governor in New York State has promised that he would use eminent domain to block the building of the controversial mosque near Ground Zero.
As governor, I will use the power of eminent domain to stop the mosque and use the site as a war memorial instead of a monument to those who attacked our country.
Carl Palladino, who is the GOP candidate for governor in New York, who is now proposing to use eminent domain to block the Ground Zero mosque. Do you think that would be a good idea?
He's passionate about this issue, and if he's elected, he'll make sure it gets done.
But he's completely off base.
Well, he wants to turn the war memorial instead of a monument to those who attacked our country.
It's not his property.
Yes, but if he's governor, there's eminent domain. You can always find a reason.
It's almost criminal to apply it in this case. Please.
Criminal?
Let's get our minds around this.
Criminal.
Let's not feel. Let's think for a change. All right?
This is a different issue completely. I mean, what happened? You can't compare it to anything else ever that has happened on American soil.
What argument can you make that eminent domain will work in this case as far as the Ground Zero mosque?
By believing it and saying it, his stock is going up, and it's going to be a lot closer of a race against Cuomo than you can imagine.
For these and other stories, visit BigJohnandAmy.com and listen to Big John Howell and Amy Jacobson each weekday morning from 5 to 9 on AM 560 WIND.